What is up, guys? I've got another mod for us to do today. We're going to be making some custom headlights. We're going to be putting custom Jeep JK fog lights inside the high beams for a new pair of headlights that I just bought. We're also going to be doing demon eyes and halos, so stay tuned. Alright, so basically the parts just came in today. What we're going to be doing is taking these headlights. Now, I will say this up front. You do not need to buy new headlights to do this. I only did it because with my work schedule and everything, I knew I wasn't going to have time to do all this in one day. So I just went ahead and got these. The set, usually you can get headlights for pretty cheap. But like I said, you can do this with your current headlights. You don't need to buy new ones. So basically we're going to be taking these and baking them apart, and then putting these in where the high beams are. We're also going to be putting in these halo rings for the low beams, and then I'm going to see what I'm going to do about these. I also have some other red LEDs. These are going to be for behind the projector, but we'll see once we get it open what I end up deciding to do with that. Also, not needed, but here is a switch that I'm going to be using to turn on and off the demon eyes, just because I know that in some places these are illegal, so I don't want to get in trouble for that. So I want to be able to cut them off if I'm not just showing them off. First things first, we're going to go ahead and get these on the floor, and we're going to go ahead and take everything off that we can so that we can go ahead and get them baked and open them up. Alright guys, so we got the headlights pretty much as broken down as we can. What we're going to go ahead and do is set the oven to, I believe, 250 degrees, and we're going to let it heat up, and then once it's heated up, we're going to put them in for, I believe, around 6 minutes. It might depend on your headlight. I'm going to take them out at 6 minutes and see if it's soft enough. If not, I'll leave it in for a few more minutes, and then I'll get back to y'all. Okay guys, so I got the headlights apart, both of them. I only had one tab that got a little bit cracked, but I went ahead and put JB Weld on it, so it'll be fine. What I'm going to go ahead and start to do is, the halo ring that I have for the low beam here is 100 millimeters, so I wanted it to be a little bit bigger than this opening here. It's just barely hitting this here, so I'm going to go ahead and notch this a little bit so that it fits flush, and then I'll go ahead and set y'all up. update, y'all. So basically, I have the slots for the halos. These are going to be the mounting spots. They are going to be epoxied in. This is for the positive and negative for that halo. Now over here, as you can tell, I have this taped up for a specific reason. This light is what is going to be replacing the high beam, but my original plan to basically mount its bracket on the back of this is not going to work, because I needed to retain some of the high beam socket so that it wouldn't leak. So basically I've notched out and epoxied in, and I'll try and show y'all that black stuff. That's where the epoxy is. So I'm gonna let this dry and then I'll get back to y'all. So basically this one is mocked up. This is fully epoxied in place. This is the mounting points for the halo rings. I'm done with that for the moment until paint and a few other things. Now this one is still drying. I just had the time to put these mounting points in and get this one epoxied in, so it's still drying. What I'm going to do is set y'all up. I'm going to be tinting the side marker lights on the lenses. Now let's get to it. Alright guys, so just wanted to give you a little update. I'm just doing a little bit of a test fit here. This isn't anywhere near the final product, but the epoxy had dried on this light here, so I was just trying to do a test and see how it looked. I'm gonna get y'all set up and get the rest done. Hey guys, so a little change in plans. Behind the high beams, I'm actually gonna be adding in some RGB LEDs so that those can be changed with the remote. I'll go ahead and show you in a second what I'm actually gonna be doing with that. I'm gonna be soldering a little bit, so I'll go ahead and set y'all up. Okay guys, just something real quick before I set you up. I have this epoxied in place. This is gonna be the demon eye for behind the projector. This right here is going to be our positive and negative feed from the switch that we will have inside the car. This will be powering both this demon eye as well as the RGB controller for the, basically what we're going to be doing is having an RGB ring that goes around the inside of this high beam socket, so it'll be able to change color as we want. I'll set y'all up and we're going to go ahead and get started soldering. Alright, little update. So I've got one of the headlights pretty much wired, but I realized one thing that I forgot to do is these high beam buckets were still chrome, and I knew that was going to stand out, so I was like, alright, let me just go ahead and paint these. I've got both of them sanded and masked off where I needed. These are also sanded, so I'm going to go ahead and get these painted, and I'll show you all the process. Update. So since the last part of the video, all that I've done is glued these in place with weather strip adhesive, and then I drilled for the sensor for the remote right here. So that's drying right now. I'm gonna go ahead and wire up the other headlight, and then I'll be back. So I have the main wire harness for the RGBs and demon eyes wired up. I'm still about to be making, though, the crossover loom between the passenger and driver side, so I'll set y'all up and we'll get started on that. Okay, so I'm back. I just finished the wiring harness for the crossover for the RGB and demon eyes. You can see that here. This connector will go over the radiator support. I wanted it to be a quick disconnect. What I still need to do, and am about to do, is wire up the plug for the main power in, and then also wire up the connectors for the halos on both of these, and then I'll get back to y'all. Alright, final update, guys. I got the headlights all put back together. After the last part of the video, basically the only thing that I had done is finished up the wiring harness, and then went ahead and did the wiring in the vehicle. I'll show some pictures of that right now. But anyway, let me show you those, and then we'll go ahead and put them back in the vehicle. Alright, so as y'all can see, I ran the wire loom through here. Basically that was the easiest place to put it. It's all zip tied so it won't come off. Here's where some of the other wiring is. It's kind of a mess. I still need to put some zip ties, but everything's connected properly. That wire loom runs over to here, where a ground is tied in here for the demon eyes and RGB. This is the constant positive for show mode. That wire runs along here, and then I'll show you all in the car. Back under here you can see my discrete switch for going between show mode and switched mode when the vehicle is on. Right now it is in vehicle mode, so whenever the key is on and power is running for the ignition, these will run unless I turn off a switch that I'm about to show you. The H is for show mode, so if I just want to show what it looks like when the car is off, I can press that and it's a constant 12 volts. I'll show you all the switch. Right here is the switch I was just talking about. When it's on, which it currently is, those lights out front will be on. When I want them off, I can simply press this and they'll cut off. Nothing really fancy about it, just trying to keep things organized and put together. I'm about to finish putting things together and then I'll show you the final product.